What's up, Heat Seekers? I am Joe Otis from joeslip.com, and welcome to today's edition of LitPicks. We are at week 3 in the NFL season, and it's our first LitPicks of the year, and I'm really looking forward to getting these picks out to you and hopefully, help you win some units. But I am joined right now by my co-host, the one and only Mike Costello. Mike, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Joe. Thanks for having me back on here. I'm pretty excited. Hope everybody's been staying safe and having a good time and enjoying football for the past 2 weeks. It's been kind of crazy with all the injuries and everything kind of going down. So hopefully they start coming to an end.
Hey, remember, we're all in this together, It's the quarantine pandemic. Things are rough going. High school teams, some of them aren't playing, man. And my thoughts and prayers are out to them at this time. Not really, but as long as you're all safe, I'm happy for you. But anyhow, let's get started. It's NFL Week 3, folks. And just want to let everybody know, right now we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. And just to give you a refresher course on how LitPicks works, if you pick the underdog, that is 4 points. Picking the spread will get you 2 points. Picking the over-under will also get you 2 points. And picking the favorite will get you 1 point. And then at the end here, Mike and I also have our mega parlay, which is a 14 parlay. And if they both hit, whoever has the higher score on the parlay will get the points. And that will be for 6 points. Are you ready to get into the action, Mike?
Let's go for it.
All
Tough
right.
week, actually. I liked last week a lot better, but this week seems a little bit tougher. So we'll see what happens.
All right. So our first game is the Las Vegas Raiders, who are fresh off an upset win on Monday night over the Saints at home in Las Vegas at the Death Star. And, it was a very impressive win because I wasn't expecting the Raiders to win. I was expecting people to get all hyped up for them and then lose. And then the Raiders, there was really nothing I can say that was, screwed the Saints over. I thought they thoroughly outplayed them. And they're going to go into New England this week. And I think that New England, the way they played against Seattle last week, I thought that they were really impressive. I thought that everybody knew that New England was going to go for a sneak with Cam Newton at the goal line at, the last play of the game. I think it was like in Tecmo Bowl when you pick your opponent's, play, and everybody just keyed in on Cam Newton, brought him down before the goal line. And I think that they showed a lot, though, in Seattle. And I think that they're going to win this game. But for my lit pick this week, I'm going to say take the over at 47 because I think 47 seems like a low number for this game, because I think that with Cam Newton and having Julian Edelman and N'Keal Harry, I think James White's on again for the week. So, but these guys, they have a really good passing game. I think Cam Newton runs the ball, fabulously. I said fantastically, whatever you want me to say. But
first week back.
Yeah, I mean, we're not freaking doing. Fabulous. This isn't the runway. What's the show called with Bravo?
I have no idea. I don't really watch TV.
Oh my God. Sorry, guys. I'm digressing now. But yeah, so I think that this game will go the over. So, Mike, what do you think?
So I like this is a perfect bounce back game. With this, I definitely think the Patriots, I'm a little surprised by this because I thought that the public would be more on the Raiders after watching them on Monday, going against winning that big game on Monday night. But I'm a little shocked. I think if you are a part of the Raiders, I would take this now. I do think that this line's going to go down by Sunday. I think it might move back to 5.5, maybe possibly 5. But I'm still going to take the Pats -6 here. I don't like the number, but I put this in before and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stick with it. I do think the Pats win this game, but -6 is a lot, but I'm just going to hope.
All right. This is how dumb I am. I was thinking of Project Runway. I don't know how I can forget that. It's a pretty big show. It's been on the air for the last 10 years. But moving forward, we got the Chicago Bears at the Atlanta Falcons. Now, don't kid yourself. Chicago has been playing pretty bad teams. They've beaten the Giants last week. It was a very, coming down to the end of the game there. The Giants very well could have won the game. Same thing with the Lions the week before. They are beating bad teams. I don't think that you really need to think that the Bears are world beaters yet. I may be wrong. Who knows? Mitch Trubisky is not really he's not setting the world on fire, but he's doing enough to get the job done. And, of course, the Bears have that defense with, Khalil Mack, Eddie Jackson, and so on. So I think this game, the Falcons are a high-scoring team with Calvin Ridley. They got Julio Jones, Matt Ryan, Todd Gurley. But I think this game is going to go the under. So I'm going to say take the under on this one, 47. It's the same exact thing as it was with the Patriots game and the Raiders. But I mean, 47, I think go with the under on this one. Mike, what do you think?
So Atlanta is a team that they're a fantasy team. You never want to lay the points or get the points for them. It's such a scary, you never know what team's going to show up. But I think that there's a job on the line here, and I think that ATL wins. I think they win this. I'd rather just take them straight up just to win this heads up. I do think they win this game and they go 1-2 because they are a good football team. And for them to fall 0-3, I just don't see it happening. And I think that the Bears are overrated. So
do you think Dan Quinn is out of a job if they lose this game?
I think there's a very good possibility, yes.
So
especially after last week with kind of losing that lead. But I don't think they have to worry about it because I think the Atlanta's going to win.
Okay. So our next game is the Houston Texans at the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the way I feel about this game, Mike, is that, the Texans, they were a playoff team last year. They made it to the divisional round of the playoffs, losing to the Chiefs. They had the Chiefs on the ropes there. The Steelers, with Duck Hodges, they finished 8-8 last year. That defense is amazing. The addition of Minka Fitzpatrick last year was really, really beneficial to the Steelers defense. So they got Big Ben back this year. They got Deontay, and they got Juju playing well. So I'm going to say take the Steelers -4 on this one. I really like the Steelers laying the points. I mean, it's not like it's a touchdown they're giving up. It's 4 points. So what do you think, Mike?
So I'm on the opposite here. I think that Houston is actually a good team. Everybody keeps talking about, they lost Hopkins. They're never going to be the same. They're going to be okay. Cooks is going to pan out. It just takes a little bit of time to get that chemistry going. Watson is phenomenal quarterback. They had the two toughest games. They played the Chiefs. They played the Ravens. Now they're playing the Steelers. I mean, it's a tough start for the Texans starting off with this. I don't see them going 0-2. I think they're going to go all out here, and I think they're going to win this game straight up. And look, Pittsburgh's a really good football team, but unfortunately, I just think that the Texans are coming in at the right time here, down 0-2, not going to fall 0-3. So I'm taking them straight up.
It's kind of ridiculous that a lot of people, they really discredit Bill O'Brien. They made the playoffs last year. They made that trade before last year to get Laramie Tunsil. And, a lot of people discredit him, but he makes the playoffs, though. So, you can't really – you can't really hate on everything he does. I think David Johnson.
And he's aggressive. I like coaches that are aggressive, take chances, and stop being so conservative. So I enjoy it. So you know what? I'm rooting for the Texans here.
It's funny because if you go on social media, every time you see a GIF of Bill O'Brien, it's, trade this, trade that, but. Yeah. So moving forward, we got the Bengals and the Philadelphia Eagles. We're both Eagles fans, and the Eagles looked like garbage this year, Mike. And
I can go on a 35-minute rant on them, and I'm just going to hold off.
They look terrible. So with that, Carson Wentz, I think he's doing too much. He tries to make too many plays happen when they're not there, and he throws in triple coverage. Sometimes he gets intercepted. And I'm really impressed with Joe Burrow this year. I do think the Eagles are going to win this game, but I'm going to take the Bengals +5 to cover the spread. 5 is a lot of points, and I'm really impressed with what Joe Burrow brings to the table. That first game, they should have won the first game against the Chargers. I think that was kind of a BS push-off penalty. I don't really think that was offensive pass interference. If the defender is touching A.J. Green, then I think that he has every right to get his hands in there as well. So I thought that the Bengals should have deserved to win that game against the Chargers in week 1. I thought that they played the Browns well in week 2, but not good enough to win, and I think they're going to cover the spread this time. What do you think, Mike?
I kind of agree with that. He's a really good quarterback. There's no question about that. The Eagles are still banged up. They still have injuries. It looks like a lot of people are going to play. I think they win this game. Look at their schedule. I don't think they win the next 2 weeks. So I don't think they're going to fall 0-5. This is the game that they have to look at on their schedule and be like, we need to win this now, because looking at the next couple weeks is not going to be very pleasant. So I think that the Eagles win. I was afraid to take them with the points because I do think that it's like the backdoor cover for the Bengals, and that's why I just decided to take them straight up.
Oh, the Eagles, man. What could have been? And I think you got to blame Howie Roseman on it so far this year. I think maybe Joe Douglas was the brains behind the operation there.
I just think there's a lot going on. I think that the play calling is, I question a lot of it, with the line being down, they're still going empty and kind of running this, West Coast offense where you got to protect them, and they're just not giving them a lot of time. I don't think they're using the players correctly. There's a whole thing that I can go off on, like I said, for 30 minutes, and I'm just going to stay silent. There's another time for that.
All right, so moving forward, we got the San Francisco 49ers at the New York Giants. San Francisco is dealing with a lot of injuries here. They got George Kittle out. I believe that Jimmy
I think
Garoppolo
he's
is
out.
out.
Yeah.
He is out, yeah. Jimmy Garoppolo is out. Nick Bosa is out for the season. That's terrible. I think the 49ers are still a good team. I think they're going to win some ugly games, though. However, I'm going to go with a nice upset pick here. I mean, they're playing in New York, or actually, it's, at the MetLife Stadium. And I think
the Niners were just there.
I'm going to take the Giants on with the money line at plus 155. I think that, everyone is expecting the Niners, who were the defending NFC champions, to do, just to steamroll opponents this year. But these injuries are very, very costly. They're losing. They also, I think, Solomon Thomas is also out. So that's a lot of players, a lot of key players. And they also lost Sherman last year. It's a lot of changeover from the NFC Super Bowl team. So that's why I'm going to go with the Giants in this one. I mean, the Giants, they don't impress me too much, but I mean, they've been in the games. They've done play the Steelers pretty tough in week one. I thought the score was far apart, but it was much closer than what it actually seemed. So that's why I want to take the Giants in this one. What do you think, Mike?
So this game scares me because, you look at all the injuries, and you look at everything that's kind of going on, and I'm just I'm looking at it, and now I'm I think I'm kind of regretting my pick. I think Daniel Jones is a very good quarterback. I really do. Watching him and his presence in the pocket, he's very good. He's going to be a very good quarterback, and I said that last year just watching him. But it's just I'm going to go with the Giants taking the points here, but I'm just thinking looking back at this, it's pretty much, it seemed like a coin flip if it's 3 and they're the home team, but I'm just then I'm you go with the head coach, and I think that Shanahan is a phenomenal head coach. And I'm now I'm kind of maybe they are just going to win this game by 5, but I'm still going to take, because it just seems like the popular pick. Everybody's taking the Giants with the points, and I feel, but I'm going to stick with it. I'm going with the Giants with the points, but I do think that, if I really look at it and go with the head coaches right now, talking about experience, I mean, this Giants, he could be a great head coach, but, he's only 2 games into his career. So, but I'll stick with the Giants and the points.
Kyle Shanahan really isn't that cool protecting the lead, though, That's going back to the Super Bowl. And the Super Bowl also with the when he was the Falcons offensive coordinator. Yeah. But moving forward, our next game is the Los Angeles Rams at the Buffalo Bills. And these are 2 very impressive teams right now. The Rams are at 2-0. The Bills are also at 2-0. Everyone is expecting the Bills to overtake the Patriots this year. And the Patriots actually look really good. I mean, I'm not really sure if this is exactly going to happen this year. I mean, everyone's been saying the Bills have been going to rise up for a while now. They made the playoffs back in 2017. They made the playoffs last year. They made some costly mistakes by Josh Allen when he fumbled the ball and could have possibly brought the Bills back against the Texans. But here we are in 2020, and I definitely think that the Bills are looking really good. I mean, the addition of Stephon Diggs, I think all the experts said Stephon Diggs wasn't going to do very much with the Bills, that he was just going to regress. But he's been doing very well the first 2 weeks of the season. He's been very impressive. That with a young running game, you got Devin Singletary in addition to Zach Moss. I really like the Bills. So I probably think the Bills covering -1.5. It's really not that many points to cover, to lay down.
It went down. It was 2, and it was at 3 at one point, and then it dropped to 2.5, and now it's at 1.5.
All right, so that's why I'm going to take the Bills -1.5 with them being at home, with the Rams having to travel across the country. I don't like the Rams uniforms as well. I just thought I'd get that out there. But I do not like them. Mike, what do you think?
I don't really care about uniforms. I know our buddy Bob is all about uniforms and is constantly talking about that, but I really don't care. This is a game where, thinking about it as me just telling you that it started at 3, then it went down to 2.5, now it went down to 1.5. It seems like an easy play for the Bills. But I think they're overrated. Listen, you know me. You know that I am a huge fan of Josh Allen. I think he's a great quarterback. I love watching him play. But they played the Jets and they played the Dolphins, and those games were all close. And people were going and saying, "Oh, Stephon Diggs this, Stephon that." Look who they've played. They haven't played a team yet. All right, that is that kind of caliber team. Now, Stephon Diggs is very good. He runs great routes, but I mean, I just think this Rams team is different, and I think that the Rams are going to come here. I think Buffalo's overrated, and I'm going to take the Rams.
All right. Our next
Should have
game
took them on the money line to get 2 extra points, but I didn't.
Right.
I don't understand math. I struggle.
Our next game is the Washington football team at the Cleveland Browns. I mean, the Washington football team, they didn't get off to a good start week 1 against the Eagles. Last week, I don't think they were really in the game at all against the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are a lot better than people think. But they're playing the Cleveland Browns this week in Cleveland. So I like what they have with McLaurin and Sims as receivers. I mean, Dwayne Haskins isn't, once again, he's also not lighting the world on fire, but he looks pretty good out there. I love their defensive front on the Washington football team. So I'm going to take the football team. It's kind of weird to say, plus 7.5. And the reason why I want to do that is 7.5 is still a lot of points. I can see this being a close game, maybe going to a field goal at the end there, maybe even going overtime. That's why I'm going to take the football team at 7.5. Like, I don't understand why they just couldn't come up with a team name like the Warriors. Why do they have to go with the football team? But I guess it's better than the old team name. What do you think, Mike?
This game's going to get back to me. That's a great pick. Taking them at plus 7.5 is by far the smartest move, but I'm not doing it. I have no idea why I'm going to do this, but I am going to lay the points here. I don't know. I'm just maybe hopeful that Thursday night they had a longer time to get ready for this game. I think that, and this is why I'm like starting to regret it now, because Washington's a very good run defense team. Like, not many backs do very well against them. So it's going to be interesting to see what Chubb and Hunt are going to do. And this game's going to be put into Baker's hands. And now I have them minus. What did I do? All right, well, go with the Browns with the let's take the points.
Our next game is the last game at the 1:00 slot. We have the Tennessee Titans at the Minnesota Vikings. And now for this game, I mean, the Vikings, they were contenders last year, made the divisional round of the playoffs. They have Kirk Cousins, who seems like he's been snake bitten ever since he's been talking about he's not caring about getting COVID and all that, you know. But almost like Drago, if he dies with that. But for that, I'm going to go with the Vikings going for the upset here. I mean, they're 0-2. I don't think they go 0-3. You know what the statistics are when the team starts 0-3 making the playoffs, and I don't really see that happening with the Vikings here. I mean, the Titans are a good team. They made the AFC Championship game last year. But going into Minnesota, I really like the Vikings here. What do you think?
I mean, I think it is a smart play. I mean, I don't really see them going 0-3 as well, but I kind of do. I mean, they're not as good as what they were last year. They lost a lot of pieces, and especially it comes in that secondary, and that's where I like Tennessee in this. I mean, Jonnu Smith is electric. Tannehill's looked great. And then obviously with the run for Derrick Henry. So I just think the Titans are too much for them. I don't think their defense is the same. Clowney did not look very good last week, but anything can change this week. So I'm going to take the Titans with the points.
All right. On to the 4:00 games. The first game is the New York Jets at the Indianapolis Colts. Look, I'll admit, guys, come on. The Jets are garbage this year. They stink. Their head coach is freaking weird, and he sucks. He's very overrated. He didn't deserve to get a job that quick. I think Joe Douglas is going to fix his team at some point, but maybe not this year. I mean, if they're in the running for Trevor Lawrence, you got to figure to go for Trevor Lawrence. And what do you do with Darnold? Probably trade him a la, Josh Rosen. But I think that this game will be closer than what people think. I mean, the Colts, they kind of laid an egg in week 1 when we lost to the Jaguars. But I'm going to take the Jets plus 11.5 because that 11.5 is a lot of points. What do you think, Mike?
That's what I say. It's way too many points. I don't think the Colts are as good as people think they are. I like them coming in, but they just don't look that sharp. I was a huge Mac guy, and him going down, I think, really hurt them because I really think that he was going to be a staple in that offense. And I think Taylor is going to be the future, but it's just it's too early for him. So it's too many points to take, to lay, and to take. So I'm just going to go straight up and just take the Colts and take my 1 point and see what happens. Maybe this comes down to 1 point between me and you, and that's what it comes down to. But like I said, I'm not very confident with a lot of these games. I'm more confident with the later games. I'm not touching a lot of these except for that Falcons game.
And that's probably the smart thing to do, what you're doing.
Yeah.
All right, next game is the Carolina Panthers at the Los Angeles Chargers at that new stadium in Inglewood. It's a beautiful stadium, I must admit. Supposedly it's fast turf, but I don't get what the hell that's supposed to mean. But my pick here is I'm going to take the Chargers minus 6.5 points. I mean, hopefully poor Tyrod Taylor getting punctured by the doctor. That was pretty bad. That was not a good thing. Hopefully he's okay for this week. But minus 6.5 points, getting your lung punctured, I think that he's going to take it out on the Panthers this week. I like Matt Rule as a coach. He was excellent at Temple and Baylor. But I think that there's going to be some growing pains there with Teddy Bridgewater at quarterback. So I like the Chargers here. Mike, what do you think?
I am going opposite with you. I actually think that this is going to be a closer game than people think. I think Carolina is going to cover. With 6.5, I think they're going to use Curtis Samuel a lot more. I think he's going to get 3 or 4 carries. I actually like him. I didn't look at the prop bets. I was going to look at that. Actually, I'll try and take a look if I can get it real quick, just to see it. Like, I really think that they're going to get him involved a lot more with the screen game and kind of running the football when the ball's in his hands. I mean, he's really, I had him last year. I really liked him. But I think that, this team, even without McCaffrey, maybe it's going to make them better, without that kind of utilizing everybody that's there, DJ Moore. And they do have talent around them. I'm trying to get to it quick, but I can't. They do have talent around them. And I think that the Panthers will keep this game close. And I think they lose at the end by maybe a field goal, but they cover.
All right. Moving forward, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Denver Broncos. Now, Tom Brady hasn't been looking like his old self this year. I mean, maybe he is getting old, like everyone says. And, everyone was expecting him to bounce back with that Bruce Arians offense. He has some great weapons there. Chris Godwin's been injured, he's been banged up. Mike Evans. Scotty Miller been pretty impressive as well. And Gronk hasn't been looking great. Tight ends, O.J. Howard, Cameron Brate. But he's only going to be traveling to a Denver Broncos team that lost their starting quarterback for a long time, and then they got Jeff Driscoll and Blake Bortles on the bench there. Von Miller is out. The defense still has Bradley Chubb, but they're, I don't really think that they're anywhere near as they could have been. Unfortunately, injuries have hurt them. That's why I'm going to take the Buccaneers -5.5 in this one. I think that Tom's looking to put something out there that's really impressive. And Week 1 game in New Orleans, and they lost. That there didn't really look too well for him, and then people were starting to pick against him. He looked okay last week, but I think this week he's going to have a bounce back week. I think he's going to win big. What do you think, Mike?
So I think they're going to win. I don't think they're going to win big. I mean, I said going into the beginning of the year when I was telling a bunch of my friends and everybody about fantasy that when you draft Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you're drafting them at their ceiling. Because I don't think they're going to be as good as everybody said they were. You're drafting every single player where they're going to be the best they possibly can be. And I just didn't see that this year. And that's why I wasn't very high on them. I do like their defense. But, there's something different with that altitude, that's in Denver. And Tom doesn't play very well there. I know it's been different teams, but I don't know. I think that Denver's going to keep this close. They're going to move the football with the running game. I just think that they're going to keep this close. And I can see that. I don't like the points 5.5. I just think it's too much. So I'm taking the Bucs on the money line, straight up. But I'm just not confident with the points.
All right. Our next game is the Detroit Lions at the Arizona Cardinals. I love Kyler Murray. I have him on my fantasy team that I'm in with you, Mike. And he's an excellent quarterback. He can beat you on the ground. He can beat you in the air. He can beat you any way he wants to. He's a very well a contender for the MVP award this year. The Cardinals are 2-0 right now. I mean, they're looking pretty good. I mean, they start the season off 3-0. That could really help their chances of making the playoffs this year and contending in the NFC West. And lucky for them, they have a team that isn't very good heading to the desert to play them. In the Detroit Lions, I think Matt Patricia will probably be the first coach that's fired this year. I think that, 5.5 is a big spread, but I'm going to just take the Cardinals on the money line at 240. What do you think, Mike?
So in the beginning of the season, I told a bunch of people that you need to take the Lions and the Cardinals over the wins for the whole total season. And I said take the Panthers with the total wins under. All right. Right now, 2 of them are looking good. And also right now, the Cardinals are the best team in the NFC, and they are my prediction to go to the Super Bowl. They're playing phenomenal. Kenyon Drake hasn't even really done a lot yet. He's going to start. This is his breakout game. I love him. He did 77.5. I just looked at it. I think he's going to have well over 100, probably 120 some yards rushing this game. I think this is his breakout game. So I've been trying to get him in all my fantasy leagues, and I failed. I drafted him in one, and that's the only one I can get. But I think this is his big breakout game, and I think the Cardinals are the best team in the NFC, no question about it. So they definitely lay this 5.5.
All right, our last game in the 4:00 slate is the Dallas Cowboys at the Seattle Seahawks. And I thought that
this
Seattle,
could be a great game, by the way. Sorry, but this could be great.
Yeah, it should be a great game. I mean, these are 2 contending teams. I mean, a lot of people think the Cowboys are going to win the NFC East. They should have lost last week, but they got lucky on a miraculous special teams onside kick play there. And I mean, the Seahawks took it down the wire with the Patriots, even though they were pretty decently favored. So I like this game. I'm looking forward to watching it, but I'm going to take the Seahawks, to win with the money line -240. Because, I mean, 5 points is a lot for the Cowboys. I mean, they have a really good offense. They have CeeDee Lamb, as a rookie receiver. They have, they have Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, Zeke Elliott. Their tight ends have been hit and miss this year, with their starting tight end getting injured in week 1. Dak Prescott, I think a lot of people give Dak a lot of garbage, thinking that he's not really good, but he is a good quarterback. Especially if you have him in fantasy, he's really good. So. And that Cowboys defense, it's been keeping them in games there. So, but I like the Seahawks winning it outright. That's why I didn't want to really mess with any of the spreads here. What do you think, Mike?
So I like Dallas. I mean, first off, I do want to give shout outs to Dak, who actually came out clean, regarding mental health, because it is a very big issue here, in this world that a lot of people don't really talk about it. So it is nice to see that somebody that's at his level, does cope with that, and it's natural for it to happen for a lot of individuals. So I do, I think that's a very positive thing. So I love this game. I think the Cowboys +5 is one of my staples. I like this game a lot. Russell Wilson's definitely the best quarterback in the league right now. There's no question about that. But I think the Dallas firepower, this is going to go back and forth. I mean, the over-under is 57 on this game. I didn't want to touch that, but it's going to be a great game. I think Dallas covers. CeeDee Lamb is going to have a breakout game this game. He's 61.5. I would take the over on that because I think he might go for 100, if not 80 to 90 yards here, because I don't think Seattle can cover the receiver, and that's where CeeDee Lamb's going to do most of his work out of. So I can see Cowboys keeping this game close, and I think it's going to come down to the wire with that last drive, but whether which team is winning. So. I can see Dallas winning this straight up too.
That's true. Yeah, anything can happen. So moving forward to the Green Bay Packers at the New Orleans Saints. This is our Sunday night football game of the week. A very impressive slot of Sunday night games and Monday night as well. So we have the Packers and the Saints. This should be a fun one. I really like the upset pick here. I'm going to go with the Packers at +143. I want to get those upset points. Maybe I'm buying in on the Packers too much, but they looked pretty good the last couple of weeks. Aaron Rodgers, I think that the early calls of his demise have been greatly exaggerated. I think he's still a good quarterback. Where's Mike at? Mike? There he comes. Hold on.
For a little bit there.
Where'd you go?
I don't know. Food. Sorry.
All right. So I'm taking the Packers +143 because I like the way that they've been playing. I mean, Devontae Adams, I believe he's injured right now, so that's going to definitely hurt the Packers.
Well, they said he's doubtful, but then I'm hearing that he said he's playing, so it's like I don't know what's going to happen.
If he's doubtful, he's out. If he's doubtful on Friday, he's out. That's like less than 1% chance, so I don't think he's playing. But I mean, I think that the Saints coming back from a tough loss on a Monday night in the short week against playing on prime time again against the Green Bay Packers. So I mean, I really like the Packers in this one. I like the Packers on the road. What do you think, Mike?
Well, first off, you gave love to Sunday night games and Monday night games. I mean, how about the Thursday night game? We get the Jags and the Dolphins. I mean, come on. It's a great game. Beard versus mustache. It was awesome. But I'm taking the Saints here. I don't know what's wrong with the Saints. I mean, obviously Breeze, he's not the same that he used to be. He's not I guess it's arm strength. It's something's not there anymore. But I still think he has the end all be all. I think Green Bay is still overrated. If Devontae's out, I mean, I don't see. I mean, the Saints on Monday night, I was baffled because I love the Saints going into that game, and I was watching it, and they just kept playing man coverage nonstop. And listen, the Raiders they have extremely athletic receivers, especially with Waller, and man coverage wasn't working. If they run man coverage against Green Bay, I think it's going to work, and they're going to get that pressure. So that's why I'm taking the Saints here at -3, and I actually do like this game a lot more that I kind of think about it. So I'm going to go with the Saints here, laying the points.
All right, and on to the Monday night game, we have the Kansas City Chiefs at the Baltimore Ravens. This could be a very early pick for game of the year. This is what many people expect the AFC Championship game to be, as a matter of fact. Will that be the case? Who knows? But I love this game. Looking forward to watching it. And the Chiefs, they had a really tough game last week. They got lucky to beat the Chargers. They should have lost that game. Patrick Mahomes was not himself. But, Tyreek Hill really helped me in fantasy at the end there. He got some big points at the end there, and I love that. They're going to be going to Baltimore. That's why I'm taking the Chiefs at plus 155. I mean, I think that, the Chiefs they haven't looked invisible. They look like they're very beautiful in the game last week. And I think it's time for the Ravens to be looking beatable as well. So I think the Chiefs are going to take it to them. And what do you think, Mike?
Best team in the AFC is Baltimore. Baltimore versus the Cardinals for the Super Bowl. I'm taking Baltimore here on Monday night. I know this is a prime, kind of Andy game. It's a Monday night game. They're coming there. But I just think Baltimore's too good. Their offense is so good. And they can they can hit you, they can throw it, they can run it. I think that the defense is going to slow the Kansas City down just a little bit. And I'm taking Baltimore here, laying the points. I'm very confident with Baltimore, and I do think that they're the best team in the AFC.
All right, so that's our last game, Mike. And now it's time to discuss our mega parlay, folks. This is what you want here. This will get you some units. It's a 4-teamer we go with, and this will get you 6 points. But my mega parlay is going to be the Steelers money line minus 225, the Buccaneers money line minus 235, the Seahawks minus 240. So I'm taking 3 pretty big favorites there. So, but I also like those Chiefs on Monday night at plus 165, and that'll get you a plus 651 total. So if you put down 5 units, you'll be getting something like, I don't know, $60 back. Who knows?
I don't know math.
No, I'm sorry. I'm not really good at that, but I'm just going on top of my head here. But that'll be a nice parlay for you. No, I think 1,000 will get you $50. So something like probably $30 back. Who knows? But 30 units, I should be saying. Sorry, guys, can't say dollars on this podcast here. We'll get sued. But Mike, here's your mega parlay.
I would say I like the Bucs straight up. I do like the Cowboys getting the points. I like the Cardinals laying the points, and I like the Falcons straight up here. So I think that they're my top ones. Obviously, yeah. I mean that's pretty much how I do it. I like that. I'm pretty confident with these games real quick. So
the way the parlays work out is that if we both hit the parlay, which is going to be really hard to happen, whoever has the higher number will get the points, the 6 points. That's how that will work. That's how the tiebreakers will work for that. So now it's time to talk karaoke punishment, Mike. My pick for you, Mike, is going to be the great song by No Doubt from 1995, Just a Girl. You like Gwen Stefani?
Big Gwen Stefani fan, yeah. Yep. Like Gwen Stefani, Blake Shelton, I'm a fan, no doubt.
Well, this is going to be some mid-90s ska music. And Mike, what's your punishment?
I think I remember the song. I think I can almost sing the song without even looking at words. So we'll see. But I've decided for you that I want you to say "I Will Always Love You." All right, by Whitney Houston. I want to hear you hit that high note. So
I think
this is going to be a Costello lock for me here, as you're going to be singing this song.
That was a nice song to sing. I remember the movie with Kevin Costner and
Bodyguard. Great movie.
Great movie. Whitney Houston looked gorgeous in that. But rest in peace to her, which was 7 years ago. But
wow. Yeah.
Great singer, great movie. Will even be a better song when I sing it than when she sings it. So probably not. But anyway, moving forward, this has been our first show. It's been a while. Been a little rusty. Mike, how do you think it went?
I think it went well. I mean, it's nice to kind of get back into things. It's a tougher week to do it, but it's nice to kind of see football, going on and see everything that's going. So I mean, usually we're going to be doing this on a Friday night, I think, or we're going to try it. It all depends with kids thrown into the ring. But you see now how it works. It's completely it's very difficult to have a set schedule with everything.
Oh, it is. It's very difficult.
Yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed it. So let's keep it going.
Fun. And Mike, we want all our fans out there to what?
Stay lit.
Stay lit, folks. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Later.